everyone, my name is Katie. Welcome to my page Red's Stitchery and let's talk about cross stitching. Today, even though it's spring outside, we're going to rewatch my winter plans because this year I'm doing not yearly plans, but I'm doing like seasonal plans. And even though I already stitched spring projects, I've decided to rewatch my winter plans video and see if any was achieved at all. I think it'll be fun. Also, I think it will be like realization for myself, like, can I even plan that much? Do I achieve that much? And all of that. So let's just dive into it. I feel like it's gonna be a long video. Basically, it's a recap of the winter season. I'm going to show you mostly everything that I stitched. And let's see how much it's changed in the past 3 months, how much project progress I did and all of that. So let's just dive into it and hope for the best. I hope I achieved at least one of something because I already know everything that I did not achieve. So we'll see. My initial plan was to put the old video and then like live react to it, which maybe I will put the clips here and there, but I realized if I would film the whole video above, like on top of the old video, this video gonna be like 2 hours, and I don't think anybody wanna watch a 2-hour video where I rewatch old video plus added a new things. So I am going to rewatch it right now for the first time, and I'm just gonna retell you what I showed you there and maybe put my before and after here if I have a good screenshot. But if you're interested, you're more than welcome to rewatch it too and then come back here and rewatch this one. But the first project that I'm showing you in my winter plans, it's the seasonal fruit panels by Anastasia Daricheva, and I stitched my very first one. She has all 4. I do want to stitch all 4, but I decided I'm not going to stitch all of them in 1 year. Like, I'm going to finish my winter one first and then move on to the next one, whatever season I feel like. But this one, it's a good start, and be honest with you, I think it's the only project that I'm very proud of my progress, because it was stitched like 20%. I put myself a realistic goal of 25 and I actually stitched it to 50%. And I've stitched it so fast too. Let me show you first and then I'm gonna share with you all my emotions about it. So at the beginning of the season, only the main piece, the red flower right here, was stitched, and everything that you see above I added during this winter season. Isn't it just gorgeous? I love it. I absolutely love it. I am sad because I was stitching it and I was stitching it like daily. I was so obsessed with this project, but then I got tired of it just like that. And you know, you still can love the project, but you can just see that you stitch the same amount of the time, 2 hours for example, but all of a sudden before you were able to do like, I don't know, 300 stitches, and now you barely do 100 because you constantly switching your mind, getting distracted. And like, I still love it. I want to keep stitching it, and the goal was to finish it. And as you can see right here, this like branches not finished. And I'm kind of upset that I got distracted and I switched to the different project because I was so close to finish it. I mean, the top part. But still, I think it's an amazing progress. I'm very proud of myself. This one has so much back stitching, like a lot. So, first one, I say it's a success. I'm very proud of myself. I will say that I think I am going to do Christmas in July, but I'm gonna do it a little bit differently, and I'm gonna talk about it maybe next time. Still planning, thinking like, can I do it or not? But if I will do Christmas in July, I think I'm just going to try to finish this branches. Endless back stitch over here still needs to be done, and then I'm gonna put it away till December, and I will try to finish in December, but that's a whole different planned video for the next winter season, so I'm not gonna get ahead of myself. But I'm very proud of this progress. And again, this fabric, I don't know what it is. It's some kind of even weave, but this is the best even weave I've ever stitched. It's very soft, but it feels waxy, but not like in a gross way, in a smooth way. And my stitching on this project, I think it's the best cross stitching I've ever done. But again, I have no idea what kind of fabric it is. No clue. If I knew, I would be the only type of fabric I would buy ever. Let's continue and see what I planned next. The next project I'm talking about in that video, it's this Snowflake Elegance Ornaments by Dimensions. It's a collaboration with Sandy Orton, and I'm participating in the Style by Andy Orton, or like dedicated to her charts. And in a video, I was supposed to finish all 6 by the end of the February. The plan was 2 toys per month, and I failed miserably. I failed so much. So far, I have only 3 ready, and it's almost middle of March. Then I stitched the bell. And in my recent stitcher updates, I showed you Amaryllis. I keep forgetting the name of this flower for the life of me. Somebody please comment again, so maybe for the 3rd time I will remember the name of it. So far only 3 toys are ready. I am 3 toys behind. I am kind of sad about it because by now I would want to start another Sandy Orton project. The Kindest Garden, I think the name of it, sampler, which you stitch 50% of it just with Kreinik. It's absolutely gorgeous. But honestly, it kind of helps that we got 24 hours of snow yesterday, and it's very snowy outside. And like today I was working on a 4th ornament, which I'm gonna show you in my stitch updates, not today, because right now I'm only showing you like the final result that was stitched till the end of the February. So technically I still stitch a toy per month, but it was not what I planned. I was hoping I'm going to do all 6 will be finished by now, but it's okay. Halfway there, right? Think positively. Halfway there. So I'm very excited to show you my stitch updates, the next toys, the more updates, and I am very proud of the 3 that I do have. Next project I showed you in that video, it was the Holiday Village by Dimensions. At the beginning of the season, it was stitched on 14%, and my goal was to move it to 25%, and I failed. However, I will say I stitched this project, I think, maybe 4 or 5 days at the end of February. I haven't touched it a whole season. December, January, February, nothing. And at the end of the February, the very last week, I'm like, okay, Katie, we have to put at least 100 stitches in it. So I stitched for it for a good 4 or 5 days, and I put at least some progress, and right now I think it's around 20% done. But I got to the sky part, and I am so happy about it because in my opinion this is definitely lip gloss. This right here, it's definitely the most yummiest, beautiful part of all project. Let me show you the preview again. Right? So that's exactly where am I would say stitching it 4 or 5 days in a row, my fingers, oh my god, I wanted to keep stitching in it, but I literally was in so much pain because this whole area you stitch with 3, 4, and 5 strength of floss half stitch. Like, I touch it and it's so thick because there's so much floss in there, but it's all half stitch. And this trees is brand new. I've started it just a little bit, but this trees in the sky, it's new addition to this project. Very proud of myself. I do think I also put some I think the white floss right here in the roof. Oh, my nail polish almost perfectly matched with that purplish blue over here. But anyway, not 25%, way far from a quarter of the project, but still very proud of myself, very happy that I even remembered about it, because I still love it. I think, in my opinion, this is the prettiest Christmas winter project by Gold Collection Dimensions. And I know there's super rare ones that people hunting, there's new printed ones people love. In my opinion, I think you still can easily find it on Amazon. This is the most beautiful Christmas winter kit that Dimensions ever done, Gold Collection, and I'm definitely going to keep stitching in it. Again, if I'm going to do Christmas in July, I'm not going to do all of these projects, but this one, it needs to be stitched just a little bit, because honestly, definitely I'm not going to finish it this year, but I definitely wanted to finish in 2026. It's bothering me that it's in my project bags, in my whips, a little bit too long. Like it needs to be stitched. Let's move on to the next project. And the next project I was talking about, I am so sorry, I forgot the designer name. If you're interested, let me know and I will answer you in the comments. But original thought was that I'm going to finish it because it's only have 8,000 stitches. In reality, I did put myself a goal to achieve 25%. I end up only doing 10%, and I was stitching only one day in a whole season. I'm talking about the pomegranates and a cotton. I'm going to insert somewhere the preview so you can understand what's going on. But this project has only 8,000 stitches, which technically for me, I can easily finish it in a couple weeks. However, it has 50 or maybe even almost 60 colors. Thankfully, no blends, all single. But this alone took me so long to do. I remember we were watching some kind of show. We watched like 5 or 6 episodes of 40 minutes, some kind of show. I don't remember what we were watching, but it took me so long. And can you count how many shades of purplish red pinks it already has? Like, it's going to be gorgeous. I've seen on Flosstube people finishing it. I am still wanting to stitch it, but it's a difficult one. And that was for the first time ever. I want you to be careful. When I put the floss on organizers and I gave each color, each thread, it's all needle, so I don't waste time on taking the floss, put it in an organizer, taking another floss, put it in a needle, because very rarely you will stitch this project and you will finish floss completely. But the colors are gorgeous, the project is going to be absolutely gorgeous. Again, it just needs to be stitched. But I just believed in myself too much. I honestly thought I can easy peasy stitch it, but turns out it was way more difficult than I thought. Still, I love it. I still want to finish it. Gorgeous project. I would love keep stitching it, but it's one of those that preferably nobody around you, don't watch TV, maybe listen audiobook, or better, put something in the background that you're already familiar with and nothing gonna grab your attention, because this one does take a lot of your attention. The next project I'm talking about, of course, it's a Nora Corbett Glimpse Tree. You can find this pattern on her Patreon. You don't need to be a subscriber. She just sells it right there in her store. And the goal was to finish it, and there it is. It's a full finish. I made a dedicated video just for this project with all the tiny little details. What fabric, what floss, what beads, what treasures, how many beads you need, how many floss you need. all of that information, I made a whole good, in my opinion, video dedicated to this beautiful glimpsed tree with all the details, with the close-up and everything. And honestly, yes, I'm kind of sad that I didn't really achieve all my other plans, but this right here just makes me so happy. That was my main goal for this winter season. I didn't want it to keep it unfinished because I told you before, it's cannot be washed because of the variation silks and all of that. So this one is a finish and I'm super proud of myself. And yeah, this one alone, worth it. Like, so happy. Next project I'm talking about in this video, I started talking about the starts that I would love to do in this winter season. One of them being this Celestian dragon by Teresa Wentzler. And it's been my dream. I've seen it a couple times, never paid attention, and then again I watched somebody stitching it and I lost it. It's so beautiful. I couldn't resist. It took me a long time to find this pattern, but now I finally have it and I finally started it. I will say I made a whole video dedicated to Lily Maiden. That was my first start and finish by Teresa. I decided that I am not going to start more than one project by her because no way I can do it. And I think with a designer like her, it's a very good idea to be concentrated on one project and then move on to the next one. We'll see. Never know what happens. This one is way bigger than Lily Maiden, so maybe I will change my mind or something, but I started it. He is going to be huge. Be honest with you, I'm kind of nervous and I think I've chose too short of the piece of fabric. I did the counting. It looks like I'm gonna be fine, but I think if anything, maybe it would be a good idea just to do the dragon, this golden frame, and see if I have enough space for these elements. I thought I've started from the, I don't know, something bugs me. I need to do the recount so I can just relax and stitch it. But his face, halfway done. I've started some back stitching over here on his nose. He needs some eyes. I do think his head is the most difficult part of the pattern, and I think as soon as I go through it, the project gonna just fly. It has so many cranach in it already. It's all sparkling and beautiful, which you probably cannot see, but just trust me, it's just absolutely gorgeous and I cannot wait to stitch on it more. Next project that I mentioned in this video is wanted to start in a winter season was this Winter Dream by Merejka. Technically, I was supposed to start and finish it in 2024 because in 2023 I finished the summer cat, and Merejka has all 4 season cats on a window with some kind of flowers. I still don't know if I'm going to grab the fall and the summer, fall and the spring. I'm still debating on those, but the winter and the summer are my favorites from this collection, so I knew I have to stitch this one. And I started this one and I already stitched more than 50%, and this project has around 33,000, something like that, so a good 15,000 stitches were put into this project. I will say that the bouquet, the flowers, I already started on March, so ignore this. All of this I did stitched in the month of winter. If you've been watching my videos, I wash and iron my projects only before I frame them or finish them because I don't like to do it too often. So there you go. It's so, like, if you've been watching my videos, you know I never film the video's face. I usually change the camera, filming my table so I can show you close to these projects. But it's interesting to see your own project on a camera from this behind, because you know, when you work on them, you're so concentrated on one area and you only see the stitching, like those little pixelated, and when you watch from far, you're like, wow, I stitched that and it's beautiful. I love Merejka. Again, if you watch my previous videos, you know that I talk about this brand all the time, constantly. I always recommend it. It's super beginner friendly. Guarantee if you Google Merejka kits, you will find at least one that you like, okay, I have to have it. Merejka is absolutely amazing. The next project I'm talking about in that video, it's also the start that I wish I would start, because again, I've been wanting to start for a year. It's Northern Lights sampler by China Douglas Designs. Gorgeous sampler, beautiful, and I've started it, and right from the beginning it was way more difficult than I was mentally prepared for, and I didn't even finish the first row of this sampler. I gave up this easily. It still bothers me that I didn't move on the project as far as I wish I would, and I started it in January, I think, and I never talked about it, or I never showed you this, so let me just do it right here, right now. So at the very top, we started with Northern Lights itself, which I never know. There's a company that colors Kreinik to variation floss. Gorgeous floss. I've never seen anything like this before, never worked with anything like this before. I kind of regret that I chose cotton fabric, not like Belfast or linen, because even though it's 25th count, because I didn't have any other deep blue fabrics and I didn't want to buy any because I'm really trying to use what I have, so I've decided, like, let's experiment, let's just go for it, let's try it out, let's do it. Stop being afraid. It's just cross stitching. It's gonna be beautiful anyway. But I think what stopped me is because this is Kreinik 4th braid, I think, variated, so colored, and on cotton, even though it's 25th count, it's very hard to pull through. Plus the very first row, and I think the very first 3 rows of this project, it's satin stitch. I'm not good at satin stitch. I spend so much time layering each floss. I feel so bad because so much floss wasted in a bag, but no way you can just go in the next hole. You need to continue coming from up and down, up and down. And then I think no, I still need to finish the Northern Lights right here, and then lots of beads just go across of it, and then the first row gonna be finished. I really don't like satin stitch, that's why I don't do embroidery. Not to concentrate on it too much, because I know I'm just gonna continue with stitching and eventually it's gonna be just a part of a very big project. But I was not mentally prepared, but hey, I started it. I definitely want to continue working on it. I'm going to put more progress into it, and then we're going to talk about it in details, because I was lucky enough, I found it an instant sale, a whole pack, everything was included except the beads and actually Kreinik needed here, and something else, and fabric. That's all on me. All the floss is here. I definitely going to sometime, not anytime soon, but sometime, put more progress into it and do more detailed in my regular videos. Right now we're just summing up my winter season, but yeah, I don't like showing progresses like this. Like, this is too small start for me, so I'm gonna keep working on it. I don't know when. Possibly I will have to wait, not have to, but I will wait probably till the next winter season, and then hopefully then we will see more progress on it. The next project I'm talking about, this brand, I've never heard about it. It's the mama bear and a baby bear, and I've never finished, I never started this project, so we're just gonna skip through it, and hopefully next winter season I will stitch it. I will start it because it's a super easy project, because I already did the saga pattern for it by myself, but I just didn't have time for it, so it was not a season for this project. Let's move on to the next one. I talked so much about this project, and again, I'm so sorry, I keep forgetting the name of the designer. If you're interested, let me know. But I purchased it from my bobbin, and I didn't achieve a goal. I only did 700 stitches. The goal was at least 3,000. That's my super small start. I didn't even wash the fabric, and I said it so many times that I'm going to wash the fabric and then I'm gonna continue stitching, because the whole problem why I don't know what to do with this. And this Ida I found on Amazon because it needs super long cut of the Ida. It's so hard, and this is just uncomfortable, so I've decided I need to wash it so I can roll it better, and I've never done it, therefore I never put any more progress into this project. But as I said before, it doesn't bother me. I don't have any big plans for this anytime soon. This project has almost 100,000 stitches in it, and I just know it's not going to be a finish anytime soon. However, starting next winter season, I am going to put more direct, more specific goal to it. Like this goal, basically, technically, I did achieve it, because the main goal was just to start it, because I know it's going to be a big project, and if I don't start it now, it's just going to be one of those digital patterns that I bought but never stitched. So because I put at least almost 1% into it, now I feel like I have to stitch it. So starting next winter season, we are putting this in a rotation as must stitch, but main goal for this winter season was to start, which I did. And looks like that was it. I did not mention anything else in this video. However, I did stitch more projects, so let's do something that was not included, but kind of sum up what else I was able to achieve in this winter season. First finish of 2025, Blue Tree by Vitlanka. Again, in my previous videos, I give you all the details. This is all Delica beads. This is all Mill Hill beads. I have a random treasure right here that I had in my stash. And that was my first finish of 2025. The next finish was, besides my gorgeous Klim tree, Letter E by Nora Corbett. I started on my birthday, November 29th. And the letter, like everything was cross-stitched. And besides the frame, this blue frame, beads, and the very famous Nora Corbett whiskers, those were not stitched, and also little pink elements inside of letter E. So I did those, I added the beads, the sparkle, and I have another finish. So that was another finish that I already did and stitched in this winter season. The next project I was stitching, it's my Moscow or St. Basil Cathedral by Riolis. Till that 100,000 stitching project, that was my biggest project. At the beginning of the year was exactly 50% done. Right now it's at 60% done, so I've stitched 10 more percent. I'm not gonna take it off the hoop because it's right here. Do you see how not enough fabric? So it's kind of problematic to put it on every time. But this right here is new. This basically 2 buildings is new. Well, it's 1 building, but like this 2 elements is new. This also is new, and all of the sky is new. So here's the 10%. Also, okay, time to time I do need to film the videos facing the camera, because seeing my own projects from this far, I love it. Beautiful. This one, Sal, it's, I think the name of it, something like Dream Project or something. So here we're stitching the project that we dreamed about it or we love. But I started, okay, this one I've started way far in 2024. However, I don't want to say difficult, but it's particular. You know, sometimes you just want to stitch something that just flies. This one you will stitch for hours and you might put 100 stitches in it, because you're grabbing the color and you're doing like 2 stitches here, 2 stitches here, 2 stitches here, 2 stitches here, and each time you need to fix your floss. It's not difficult, it just takes time. This is miniature Dragonfly tile by Chatelaine, and I am 47% done right now, so close to the 50. Again, you're going to see this project every month till I finish it, because again, I'm participating in a cell, and I'm only participating in cells where you have to post your report each month. And yeah, here's the progress so far. I'm obsessed with it, it's so good. Let's talk the smalls. I'm also participating in SAL, where we have to stitch at least one Christmas ornament per month, and I am stitching Douglas Design Victorian Christmas ornaments. And for the month of January, I've stitched this beautiful bird cage. And in my previous videos, I asked you what to do, like how to do my bag, and I made a decision. I haven't done it yet, but as soon as I finish it, I will let you know. You barely can see, but the whole cage is stitched with gold Kreinik. It's beautiful. And for the month of February, I've stitched this gorgeous, like a heart pillow. The only thing I've changed, everything else is a chart required. I added a 32 Kreinik, so all the white elements, the all white stitching you see, so this like a glare and all the whites in here, it's all, I added some 32 Kreinik, which you barely can see the sparkle, but I didn't want it to be too simple, you know, so I'm like, more sparkle. So that's what I did. And then you also do the back stitch on like on a ruffle part with Kreinik. I think it was 044, but I might be mistaken. It was very interesting confetti color. It's changing from like pink purple to yellowish gold to purplish blue. Very interesting Kreinik. You kind of see the sparkle right here, like how it's changing its color. I've never worked with anything like that before. So I'm very happy I'm participating in the sale, because each time around Christmas I'm like, I didn't stitch any ornaments, and like it's a dream of mine, at least, to have a Christmas tree full of your cross stitch projects. I do stitch this on perforated paper. I enjoy stitching perforated paper. I like it. I understand it might not be sturdy, like practical, but I don't know, they are Victorian ornaments, and stitching them on paper does give them that like vintage look. I do own almost all of those booklets except a couple. Those are hard to find, and if you do find, the prices are crazy, so I kind of decided to wait on those. And I did had a temptation of just stitching the ornaments that I like from different books, but I've decided to stick to one booklet, and I've decided with this one because that one is the most popular one. This one you can find easily. It's the booklet number 5. And in 2024, I've stitched 2 toys. I've started with this strawberry heart. The Kreinik also in a white part, that 032, which of course you cannot see the sparkle right now. And then I stitched this beautiful green bow with bells, and Kreinik over here only in the back stitched around the bow itself. So I decided to continue with this booklet, and then in January I stitched the cage, and then I stitched the heart. I'm working on a next one right now for the month of March, and I'm very excited to show it to you in my, I don't know which, but sometime in March, stitch updates. And a very random project, I have not showed it to you yet, I think. Depends what video I posted first, but I'm gonna show it here anyway. That was my another finish in the winter season. So far, I don't count this ones as each finish. When I'm going to finish the whole booklet, that's gonna be one big finish. So Clim tree, blue tree, letter E, and now this adorable cute cat by Mill Hill. So far I have 4 finishes in a winter season 2024-2025. I have so much to tell you about this one. So this was kit by Mill Hill. The kit is from 2006, so it's almost 20 years old, and I've decided it's time to stitch it. So here's the preview. Here's the final result. I would say I'm very unhappy with how I cut the back. Like, I could do so much better. I don't know what happened there, but you know, after so many toys I already done with perforated paper and like gluing the backing, you know, maybe because it was so much smaller and that's why it was harder. Like, compare them, like the heart almost twice bigger than this cat. Maybe that's why I'm not happy, but let's just ignore the backing and concentrate on adorable cute cat right here. Also, it came with this leaf treasure, and you stitch it to the paper, adding red beads right here to look like berries. What was interesting, it's his bow. It's made of the beads. I was scared at first, but then I looked at the instruction that comes with the kit, and turns out it was way easier than I thought. And after stitching so much Mill Hill, for the first time ever, I actually paid attention how Mill Hill suggests to you to stitch petite beads. So if you stitched Mill Hill comes with everything that you need. So that's the beads leftovers. And I throw away about 5 or 6 different colors of the petite beads because the needle would just not go through. So that's something to think about. And the needle does come in a kit with this Mill Hill kit. So interesting that its own needle cannot go through its own beads. So I have to throw away a couple. But still, lots of leftovers. Which I am going to separate and put it in my stash. I didn't save lots of floss because the red, the green, the cream, pretty much all I have left is just a couple strings of it. However, the gray, I do have like a full skein of it, so I'm saving that one. And I always save the needles from Mill Hill kit because I work a lot with the beads and I need them. So another interesting part, if you look closely, his hat, you actually stitch separately and then you stitch it to his ear. So it's 2 separate parts. You stitch a cat, you stitch a hat, and then you put in one on top of that and you stitch it all together. I've never done something like this before. So that was also very interesting experience. Overall, super cute. Oh, and another thing that I added that was not part of the chart, it's a whiskers. The cat came without whiskers, and that just seemed wrong. So I added some whiskers. So that's another 4th finish this winter season. Well, that was it. That's all that I stitched in the season of winter 2024-2025. So December, January, February. Maybe I didn't achieve really all the plans, but I think I stitched still more than I thought I would be. I have so many starts. I'm participating in so many cells. Like, I'm very proud of my stitching. Some projects coming together, some are moving to the finish. I finished 4 projects that I didn't even think I'm gonna do that. So that's what I'm kind of was talking about, that sometimes you mood switch, you want to stitch something else, and even though you do have those big plans, you jump in between the projects. Like the letter E was not wasn't part of my plan. The blue tree by Vitlanka wasn't part of my... This was a very random start. And when I was filming that video, I didn't know that I'm going to participate in the style of Christmas ornaments. So that's like 1,000 stitches each at least. So very proud of my stitching. I'm very excited to show you my spring plants, and I already started stitching some of my spring plants and I'm very excited to show you that. So I will see you very soon in my next stitch updates. Happy stitching, have a great week, and I'll see you very soon. Bye!